Hi guys, it's Joe and welcome to this episode of the JoDa podcast where we recap the last week of Mornings with Joe and Da on 104.3 The Pulse. Here's a few of our favorite segments from this past week, gearing up for Valentine's Day. We're talking engagements and weddings because Valentine's Day is coming up in a week. And I've got a story coming up on the other side of the weather about a woman who really went above and beyond to try to get married.
To try to get engaged?
The guy wasn't engaging. Let's say that. So
I've been there, girlfriend. I know.
She had to take steps into her own hands. So yeah, go ahead and tell that story.
Yeah. So Joe and I, when we started dating, we were talking about getting married, and we were talking about getting married within the year.
Yep.
And Joe kept putting it off and not proposing and not proposing.
Well, I'm a procrastinator.
You absolutely are.
I come by it honestly.
And I'm a planner, and when you're planning a wedding, that takes time and money, but time. Mm-hmm. And so he kept putting it off, and I finally saw this ad for David's Bridal. This music's perfect for this. Yeah. I saw an ad for David's Bridal, and they were advertising the $99 dress sale.
Yeah.
And me, the frugal thrifter that I am.
There's Scottish blood in you.
There has to be
some Scottish blood.
I called Joe up, and I'm like, hey, look, are we getting married or not? Because David's Bridal's having a $99 dress sale, and if I'm paying for a dress, I don't want to pay that much. You know, should I go and look for dresses or not? And he was just like,
I was taken aback. I was like,
He acted like we never talked about it.
Talking about it is one thing, but then the guy actually taking the step to get engaged, ask you, that is the thing.
But here's the difference between us two. I also knew if Joe proposed, it would be public because that's who he is. And I am not that person. I didn't even want to have a wedding because I didn't want people watching me the whole time. I don't like the public, thing. Anyway. So I called him and I said, should I get the dress? And he goes, I guess. And then that's how we ended up doing it. Little did we know, David's Bridal has this deal a lot.
Like 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, they're making their breakup pies, their goodbye pies for Valentine's Day. You can get a pizza delivered to somebody if you're breaking up with them, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And they have an excuse generator on the website, goodbyepies.com.
You could literally spend all day on there. It's funny.
I love these. Breakup excuse number 9. I'm moving to the forest to start a new family amongst the squirrels.
That's nuts.
I love it. Oh, moving away to start a family amongst the squirrels. I don't know why that one gets me so.
You're gonna be okay for that.
I don't think so. Oh, I'm just gonna let that one simmer for a while.
Sounds like a good idea.
We're talking about breakups this hour because Pizza Hut, they've got this thing going on where you can have a pizza delivered to the person you want to break up with, and they'll even generate an excuse for you. There's an excuse generator on this website called goodbyepies.com, and we're having a good chuckle out of it.
You had a better chuckle.
A better chuckle out of it. But you know what? There's a line in that song we just heard from Yvette Luna. You wanted me when no one else wanted me. Mm-hmm. We've all been rejected. Yep. We've all been dumped, or
whether it be a friend or we've had friends break up with us. We had boyfriends and girlfriends break up with us.
Maybe your spouse has left you.
Yeah.
And you feel abandoned. You feel alone. Maybe you feel like the church has left you.
Yeah.
There is one who will never leave you, and that's Jesus. And you don't have to earn his love. You don't have to deserve his love. He gives it freely. You just have to receive it.
And sometimes I think the worst breakup is sometimes we leave ourselves.
Explain.
Well, I think sometimes we talk, our inner dialogue gets so poisonous and so dark about ourselves that we feel like we're not of value to anyone. So you push people away. And God is the one that's still standing there waiting for you to come back and be like, you are precious. I made you for a reason. You are worth more than you think you are.
Yeah. Amen. My question to Da then was, okay, you picked having a laugh track for every time you told a joke.
Yeah.
Instead of a soundtrack, a song playing every time you come into the room.
Yeah.
If you had to have a song to play coming into the room, what would it be?
I wouldn't choose anything with words. And in
Okay.
fact, my dad was he's a big John Wayne fan, and we grew up watching Quiet Man on a regular basis.
The movie Quiet Man,
Yes.
yeah.
And there's a song that Joe and I sing back together when we have earworms just to get it out of our heads, you know, because the song is something. So it goes dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. That would be my soundtrack, I think.
Okay.
That
all
song.
right. All right.
Yeah.
Mine, a little more fun, a little more wacky. If you ever watched CSI Miami way back in the day, David Caruso, every time the show would start, they would be at the crime scene, and David Caruso would take off his sunglasses and say a little comment, a little pun or something, and then you would hear... It's The Who. Won't get fooled again.
I would not be able to live in the same house as you if that's how you
Every time I
entered.
walked into the room, yeah!
It would scare me every time. No way. No way.
Love it. Good day. It's Forrest Frank. Good day to you, my friend. 104.3 The Pulse. It's Joe and Da hanging out.
Hello.
Hello. And that kind of goes along with what we were saying earlier about, praising Jesus anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, no matter whether you feel like it or not. You want a good day, make it a good day.
Yeah.
You choose your attitude. And that's a lesson I'm learning all the time.
Yeah. So the last break we had, we were talking about how sometimes you don't feel like praising God. Sometimes you don't feel like going to church. But I think that's the danger is that we will fall into if we let our faith be led by our feelings.
Yeah.
If we let our faith be led by our feelings, we will falter more than we should. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's important to, feelings are important when it comes to faith, but feelings are not what should be driving us when it comes to our faith.
It shouldn't be the end all be all. And that's what our culture is doing right now.
Right.
Everything is about, I feel this, I feel
Yeah.
that. Guess what? We're fallen human beings, so our feelings lie to us at times.
Yeah.
They're fleeting as well. What I feel today, I don't feel tomorrow.
Correct. Yep.
So, but you've got to build your life on what you know.
Yep.
And you know Jesus Christ is Lord. He died for you. He loves you, and you're building your life on Him. You might not feel like a very good Christian today.
No. Well, what does it say? Love the Lord your God with all your
heart, mind, and strength.
Yes, and I think a lot of the times we forget about the mind part.
It's National Potato Lovers Day.
Oh, that's perfect for you.
I do.
You're a potato lover.
I do love...
Especially in a French fry form.
I love my carbs, and I love my starches. Mm-hmm. Meat and potatoes. That's what I like.
The Scotsman in you.
Yeah. A little bit of haggis. Neeps and tatties, which is
Hopefully
turnips and
tomorrow we'll have some
potatoes.
haggis.
Yeah, we're going to a Burns dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
But on the other hand, it's also Opera Day.
Ooh.
It is Opera Day. So I don't know how many of you guys like opera. I'm not a huge opera fan, but I like a few classical pieces. And I thought I would try my hand at, maybe crafting a quick little opera for potatoes.
Okay.
I love taters. I love taters.
He's never written an opera song for me, folks.
Are you starchy? Oh, potatoes, you're great, fried or baked, or mashed on my plate. Yikes, that's a crime against opera there, Joe. Thanks for listening to the JoDa Podcast, and as always, join us every weekday morning from 6 to 10 Central Time on 104.3 The Pulse for Mornings with Joe and Da.